Hello. Okay, we are doing role quests, and now we are on the healer role quest. And I was thinking about doing it as a scholar because that is my preferred healer usually. But I think, as I'm recording this at 11 AM, not having slept yet last night, I think White Mage is just that much easier. So I'm gonna go with White Mage. The glamour is the same. We're probably not going to do too many fights, so it doesn't really matter. Everything is at 90 anyway. So let's get right in there. Let's talk to the Odan Delegate first and see what she has to say. As I live and breathe is the great Laverne Taubane. I'd love to bombard you with questions about your exploits, but my associate here would like a word with you first. Huh? Far from free. So we have Rauban, we have Ehrenwald, and we have Fordola. Cool, interesting. If you are ready to lend us your aid, I'll appraise you of the situation. Sounds good. We received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the streets of Alamigo. Troops have been assigned to track and slay the beast, but there are likely to be casualties. With most of our healers posted elsewhere, we had thought to petition you for it. I'm not going to be an asshole here, so I'll be glad to help. Once again, we are in your debts. We shall inform Commander Alden forthwith. My comrades in the Immortal Flames will be glad to have you watching over them. You see, as there have been no sightings of any blasphemies in our lands, we have joined our Alamigan allies in their hunt for the fiend. The trouble is, the majority of our Odin healers are working day and night to treat the temperate Imperials captured at Pagalthan. For that reason, we too will be glad of your help. Your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops, I'm sure. As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Alamigan quarter and report for duty. Commander Alden is overseeing the hunt, and he will explain all upon your arrival. May Ralga grant you strength. Alright, let's do it. Bum, 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 bum. I love the Razatan music. It is so good. But then again, is there any music not good in this game? To be fair, there might actually be a couple of songs that I'm not too fond of, but overall, it's still amazing. Hello there. Ah, Master Taubane. We were told you were on your way, but this is even quicker than I expected. I'll tell Commander Alden you've arrived. A moment, please. Glad you could join us. Greetings. Now that the far greater crisis has been resolved, we may, and must, turn our undivided attention to matters of a smaller, but no less deadly scale. I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait. As our man and Hafner will have told you, a blasphemy is loose on Alamigo. That's a big guy. When it first appeared, the city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety, and for our mercy, those caught in the chaos only suffered minor injuries. But the fiend managed to escape and has not been seen since. We must find it, and soon, for as long as it remains at large, every man, woman, and child is at risk. As was the case in Fafnir, the blasphemy's very existence seemed to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it is allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer. Did anyone see the change take place? I'm believing him that's a blasphemy, it's fine. Aye, there were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Elamigan quarter fell to his knees all of a sudden, and a moment later transformed into the monstrosity we now pursue. I think that's the one we saw in the cutscene with Ehrenwald. But beyond the fact he was a young Highlander, we know next to nothing about him. Even the descriptions of his appearance are too vague to help identify the lad, and we've no clues as to his name or background. For all we know, he might not even been born in Alamiga. Might have been the son of refugees come to visit. There are other possibilities we're investigating, though. That said, I doubt his circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair, and whatever drove him to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, if we're to prevent further tragedies, future tragedies even, it is imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Until we do, we'll have no choice but to deal with the afflicted the only way we know how, by granting them a quick death. For now, I would have you join the hunt and keep my men from falling prey to these creatures. Are you up to it? Of course. You have my thanks. And as chance would have it, we've just received word that a number of beasts were spotted on the outskirts of Alagana. The troops stationed there have already been put them down, but were wounded in the process. First and foremost, they need medical attention, and that's where you come in. I'll meet you there. Okay. Don't tell me we're actually going to heal in the Cedar Roll quest. That would be ridiculous. Wouldn't call that Alagana. That's the outskirts of the city. Wounded fighter and mortified fighter. Let's see. Knowing what they are, who they were, could any of us end up like that? Ugh. It's my own damn fault for being so careless. What must Commander Alden think of me? That you need medical attention, probably. Although the soldiers were able to lead the beasts away from the village and culled a lot of them, victory did not come easily. Times like these that our lack of healers is most sorely felt. I dare say they've yet to receive any treatment at all. See to their wounds while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Once I've completed my patrol, I'll head to the village to gather eyewitness reports. Look for me thereafter. Sure. Healing. Gods be good, I feel reborn. Hold on, you're Laverne, aren't you? I can't believe it. You're the one who inspired me to join the Resistance in the first place. And now you've come to save me in my hour of need. I'll never forget this. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. I have no idea who you are, but you're welcome. I saw them change right before my eyes. Those weren't monsters I killed, but innocent men. But it should be done. There were others we had to protect, and thanks to you, I can continue to do just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. The families, they'll understand. Let's hope so. Let's sorely hope so. Hey, you. It was good of you to come all this way, though I never doubted for a moment that you wouldn't. After all you've done for the people of Girabania, you wouldn't ask for more, and yet, here you are. For treating the wounds of those soldiers, you have my thanks, and theirs too, no doubt. Seems that they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts, if my search is any indication, but we must remain vigilant. I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of the transformation, though the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken. I hear you've been through a fair few ordeals yourself, Laverne. Yeah, you can say that. As for me, I've been kept busy with this and that, like getting the hang of this wheelchair. Obviously, it has its limitations, but it gets me where I need to go. I've been working with this new organization as well, which is what brought me here, but no sooner had I arrived than those locals turned. Wagenford, I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us? The ones who underwent the change are the very people we were trying to help. Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. Yeah, that would help. The meeting Lise held in the Royal Palace marked a turning point for all of Girabania. It spurred us to open a dialogue with peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. But there are still so many problems to be addressed, and countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, the Silver Griffins. Our main concern is the welfare of Alamegans who sided with the Empire, for whatever reason, and helping them find their place in society. In particular, the surviving families of the Crania Lupi. You've changed your tune. Make no mistake, I have not forgiven them. I don't have that in me, and I doubt I ever will. But the memory of that day in the palace, of Fordola asking to be locked up again after saving us all, it stayed with me. Got me to thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities, why they'd swear to serve the Empire. And the answer was simple, because they'd seen what we'd seen and suffered much the same. In a hell where all were condemned, they chose to betray one brother to save another. That's how the Guardians win, not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. By making that choice the right one for a man at the end of his tether. Healing only begins with liberation, and some scars inevitable regardless. Those who have returned from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who had pledged allegiance to Garlemald... This is not the Alamego we dreamed of, but after 20 years of misery, I'll not see it all thrown away because we can't come to terms with the past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins, to see that no one is cast aside. It's a cause I support, and that's what brought me here today. I've been acting as a mediator. And in the short time he's been with us, he's proven himself a natural, but despite our early successes, the families of the Skulls continue to refuse our help. I think I see where this is leading. They're the ones who turned, yes? It comes as no surprise, they can tormented and murdered fellow Alamegans. Anyone with a conscience would feel shame and guilt, and for some, it might be too much to bear. I think I might know why they're turning us away. It's a sensitive matter though, so let's go somewhere where we won't be overheard. Sounds like a plan. It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories. With the echo, I'll not pretend I understand it, but tell us what you learned. I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. It was during the occupation, a man raising his son, only the two of them, but they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, he chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. And so he was branded a traitor. Every day his son listened to the cheering, the insults, but there was nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in the hope it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. He died in a revolution, but not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and murderer, but for the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself, right up until the change took him. I can only pray he and his boy have finally found the peace they were denied in life. Alas, theirs an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could. The sins of their kin weigh heavy on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. Growing up half Garlean in Alamiga, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated. To hate myself. But so long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. While I might not be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alfino, I know I can make a difference. I might not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart, and I owe it to Araba and Oli to make the most of this life so long as I've got it. Good boy. The Silver Griffins will give our all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Giabania again. So, Commander Alden, do we have your approval to continue our work? Of course, there's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'd be a fool to refuse your help. Not even a single one of our people has succumbed to this transformation as proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge to the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together, we will prevail. Now that we have Laverne on hand to aid the troops, I believe we are ready to face any beasts we encounter. Though I fear it is only a matter of time before others appear, I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. Very good. For now, let's return to the city. Okay. Back to the Alamigan Quarter. With you on our side, those beasts are no match for us. Those who harbor guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. It was the same for me when I believed that my failures had led to the Sultana's assassination. The despair and self-loathing were indescribable. I was fortunate that you and the other Scions came to my rescue, that I had friends who convinced me I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now we must do the same for the people of Alamigo. We must help them to heal and find the strength to, if not forgive, then come to terms with who we were, so that we can look to who we can be. we should aspire to be. This is precisely why the work of the Silver Griffins is so vital. Though our problems are not new, the emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any longer, and we will be better for it ultimately. Once we've decided a course of action, you'll be the first to know. Until then, may Rolga watch over and keep you. The Butcher's Blade. We were hoping you'd stop by. I'll show you to Commander Odan at once. Thank you. You are welcome side as always, Laverne. Aye, and a lot's happened since we last spoke. Mr. Griffin's been keeping busy. As have I and my men, but I'm afraid we've little to show for our efforts. Although we've been searching high and low for the blasphemy, we've seen neither hide nor hair of it. Unfortunately, everyone else had better luck. We've received reports of lesser beasts throughout Giabania, and putting them down is as important as hunting the blasphemy that got away. To complicate matters, rumors have been circulating that these beasts were the Skull's kin. While this was true of the recent incident in Alagana, we cannot have people jumping to conclusions given what they might feel tempted to do. It has been suggested that we take these individuals into custody for their own protection as much as the safety of others, but that would only isolate them even further and give credence to the rumors, or credence, whatever. The recent unrest has hindered the efforts of the Silver Griffins to no end. Therefore, I ask that you aid them in their endeavors and see if there's aught that can be done. Also, you'll be joined by another volunteer. Try not to be too surprised. I thought I felt my ears burning. Hello. You're still wearing that collar, huh? I said I don't need a keeper, but did they bloody listen? Did they bollocks? Come on, don't be like that. This is what you agreed to. Besides, you never know when you might have need of a healer, and there's none better than Laverne. He's right. You've earned a measure of trust, and thus this shouldn't be taken to mean otherwise. Thick as thieves, are we now? Then there's no need for this sudden collar eye. We all know it's not coming off anytime soon, but if this is how it's to be, then fine, so long as he keeps out of my way. On the two of you to visit the Silver Griffin's headquarters in Alagana. Several relatives of the Crania Lupi have agreed to meet with them, and we could do with a measure of precaution. If anyone so much as mentions the skulls, I'll deal with it. Understood? Sure. Let's get this over with. She's as much as the risk of turning as anyone, maybe even more so. You don't need the Echo to see the weight she's carrying. She's still not got a handle on her own Echo either. Sometimes the visions come without warning, and with such force that it's all she can do to stay standing. There's no telling what might happen when she comes face to face with the family of her former comrades. So look out for her, please. I wish there was more I could do for her myself. But we've all got our own duties, and I'll see them through to the end. So as we all follow Fodola's lead, we're counting on you both, but be ready to step in, even if she curses you for it. Okay, back to Alagana we go. Oh, I meant, this is not quite what I had in mind. Oh. I had a feeling Raban would send you, Laverne, but as for her... If you've got any complaints, take it up with the commander. No, it's fine. Truth be told, ever since that day at the Royal Palace, I've been thinking. Stop, you don't want to say it, and I don't want to hear it. No matter how, then, we Silver Griffins have been working to support the relatives of the Cranel Lupi, but one family has gone missing. Mother and her parents, who live together under the same roof. One of ours paid them a visit, but they've been nowhere to be seen, and when they made inside to check, they found the house had been torn to shreds. Thick gouges in the floor and the walls, made by a beast's claws by the look of them. You think they've turned? Aye, that's the most likely explanation. Please, do what you must before anyone else asserts. There's no time to waste. I'll head west, you east. Anval tells me she's been trying to make amends in her own way. I appreciate that she's not asking for what I can give, but, what I can't give, but I keep thinking to myself, where do we go from here? I honestly don't know. Okay. How far east are we going? Am I going up? I am going up. Alright, you're far enough away so I don't have to deal with you. And dealt with you. Crumbled Letter. The dirty spy an envelope containing a crumbled, tear-stained letter. Yeah, of course, read it, hello. Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you well. Time is short, so I must keep this brief. Although I have never done anything to make you proud, I promise you things will be different when the war is over. Until then, take care and know that I love you with all my heart. Placing the letter back into its envelope, you turn your attention to finding the others. Do I know? Okay. That's a fair bit west. That lightning sprite is going to aggro on me. Oh well. Should die quickly enough, I guess. Yeah. Figured as much. Time-worn wedding ring. I'm sorry, my English today. You discover what appears to be a wedding ring with a name and a date engraved on the inside. With seemingly no more clues to be found, you decide to report to Ragenfritz. Okay. What is done is done. Okay. Were you able to find anything? What does it say? Though its contents neither verify nor disprove your suspicion, this letter was almost certainly penned by a now deceased member of the Crani Lupi. The outer edge is covered in myriad scuffs and scratches, while the inner is marked with only a name and date, carefully engraved. Then it is as we feared. I found and killed a third that was carrying this. A matching ring. I'll deliver these effects to their next of kin and arrange for a funeral, or as close to one as possible under these circumstances. There's no changing the past. We'll always carry it in the scars. But no matter who we were or what we did, we are all Amigans, then and now. The Empire was the Empire was our enemy then, and now it's despair. Good words and deeds will serve us best in this fight. Weapons even an old man like me can yet wield. Thanks to the two of you, the missing villagers may finally be laid to rest. I and the other Silver Griffins will redouble our efforts to prevent any further tragedies. I'm finished checking the wares, sir. Everything's in order. Good work. Take a rest, lad. You've more than earned it. Keep this to yourselves, but Everett's younger brother was a member of the Crani Lupi. He's exactly the sort of person we're trying to help. Like many of the others, he was reluctant to talk to us at first, but after we'd gained his trust, we were able to help him find work. He's taken to it well. Oh. It's her, the Butcher. Treacherous all of us, kinslayers deserving of hate and death. Hate and death. No, 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 no. Get back! Get back! Ooh. Stay away from her. Fordola saved your god's life. I know, but she's... It happened in an instant. That poor lad. But it had to be done, and without hesitation. It would have been much worse otherwise. Could you go after Fordola and see to her wounds? I'll do what I can here. Yeah. Sure, I'll refuse, but I'll do what I can. Now, where is she? Oh, there you are. I'm fine. Leave me be. I said I don't need your help. I'm a healer. Let me do my job. Gods, you're like a dog with a bone. Go on then, and make it quick. A curl can't change its spots, and there's no washing the blood off my hands. Nor would I, even if I could. Taking up Guardian Steel was the first choice, but not the last. Like the first kill, the hardest. Every choice after that came easier and easier until I stopped counting, stopped caring. You tell yourself it's right, it's for the greater good. You give the order, feel the ground tremble as a cannon fire when the dust settles, and your own men are buried beneath the rubble. And you tell yourself, me too. Ah! And other screams. You mustn't give in. Don't make it about yourself. Make it about her. That man in the village. I saw his past. I'm the one who killed his brother. I'll be alright. Just need a moment. Can you wait with me? Of course. Nothing easier than that. Everything the skulls fought for, the sacrifices we made, the things we did. In the end, it was all for nothing. Sometimes I look back on the road I walked and the bitterness I can still taste, and I wonder if I had grown up in another time, another place, would I have done the same to different people? Was it always in me to be me? All I know is everyone would have been better off if I had never been born. What I was, and I dragged others into the hell of my own making. Remember these two brothers in particular, childhood friends of mine. The older one enlisted with me, but the younger... would have never have made it as a soldier. He was too kind, too good. Ansford died at Specula Imperatoris, but his brother's still out there somewhere. Not that I've got the courage to face him after what I did. I hope he's found the life he deserves. I know a young man who survived the fall of Specula Imperatoris. Who? Did you get his name? I'm glad I made it out, but too many others didn't. Too many others still need our help. I helped make this blasphemy, and by Rolger, I'll kill the bastard if it's the last thing I do. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I'll be heading back to the city to make my report. I suggest you do likewise. Okay. heard about what happened. If nothing else, at least you've seen with your own eyes what we're up against. True. Welcome back. Fadola's already given her account, and I'd like to hear yours, too. Of course. So she almost turned into a beast herself. Huh. Well, I have to take that into consideration before sending her into the field again. As far as the events in Alagana are concerned, the two of you did well. Despite the appearance of several beasts, you were able to prevent any further casualties. However, this serves to confirm that those with connections to the Craniolupi should be considered at risk of turning. Over the years, many of them have drifted away from the larger settlements and have taken to living in secret. Others made their way to Ul'dah as refugees, including some individuals of interest. As such, we'll be working closely with the Immortal Flames to locate and offer support to those refugees in particular. In fact, I plan to make the journey there for an audience with the Sultana. Once my preparations are complete, perhaps you might accompany me. I'm sure she will be glad to see you. Sure, that sounds good.